Happy birthday, I love you. Happy birthday, I love you. Happy birthday, I love you. And you 60, Mama. Papa.
Hey Dad, happy 60th birthday. We wanted to usher in your new decade of life with a little something special, some memories to look back on, and a couple of people that you've made a big impact on. We appreciate you, we love you, and I hope you enjoy this.
Roger, wow, we had some good times back in the day. Plenty of memories, but I gotta say my favorite one. My favorite one is definitely when we had practice in the gym. It was raining. I think it was my my 7th grade year. It was raining outside, so we couldn't go out there and practice. But you had the pitchers and catchers throwing on one side of the gym, and everybody else doing their own thing on the other side. And one time Joe, he caught the ball, and instead of standing up and throwing it back to the pitcher, he just threw it from his knees and it hit you. And all of a sudden, nobody was paying attention, but all of a sudden we hear you just unload on him. Joe, get up and throw the ball! And where everybody just stopped what they were doing, we were just looking at him, just like, oh my goodness, he's gonna kill him. And I mean, we got back to doing everything else, but then later on it stopped raining, at least as hard as it was, so we decided it was cool to go outside and throw a little bit. And probably from about 50 yards away, Garrett throws this ball and it sails over everybody else and it hits you again. And so immediately we all look over like, uh-oh, he's gonna get it, you know. And then no, instead you hear Garrett just yell, "Sorry, Rodge," and then you looked at him and you said, "Oh, that's fine, Garrett." With a throw like that, felt like a flea bouncing off of me. And so Joe was just furious at that point, and all of us just thought that was hilarious. And that definitely has to be my favorite memory of you from the baseball at Plaza Heights days. So yeah, it was some good times back then. But I just want to say happy birthday, Roger. I hope it's a great one, and thanks for the memories, man.
I have two favorite memories. I would have to say the first one is a pretty vague memory when I was really little and you and Papa Jim took me to the Giants game. That was pretty fun. And my most recent memory is when we went to the Giants and Marlins game in Marlins Stadium. A lot of fun. Got to sit and actually talk about baseball and watch the game and spend time together, rather than one of us being on the other end of playing and coaching and all that. So I would say that's my favorite memory.
Just one favorite Rodge moment is not an easy task because there are so many great moments. But if I had to pick just one, my personal favorite, and the one that I will never forget as long as I live, we were in Wichita in 2008, and Danny Wade got a ball from the opposing pitcher that he didn't like too much. And he made the humongous mistake of taking a couple steps out toward the pitcher's mound. and I will never forget this as long as I live, but I was standing right next to the Rodge, and it's as if an earthquake happened. Get back in the box!
When I think about my favorite story of Roger, obviously the first story that comes to mind is Step and a Half. But another one that I like to talk about a lot is a night we were in St. Louis in a hotel room with the whole team, and Roger was trying to emphasize to the guys the little things about baseball and trying to do the right things. And he was talking to them about getting up on their toes and being ready for the pitch and everything. I'll just never forget the moment he looked at all the guys in the room, kind of pointed his finger at them and said, "You guys need to listen to me. There are people in this room that know more about baseball than any of you will ever hope to know." And to me, that's one of the more definitive stories about Roger that I'll always remember. And but then, like, one of the serious ones that I do remember is my first or second year of coaching, when I was really frustrated with this season. I was 22 or 23 years old, and I kind of wanted to quit early on in the season, and Roger taught me how to quitting. And I've got to meet a lot of great people over the years coaching and do a lot of exciting things that I probably would have never got to experience if Roger had talked me out of quitting that day. So I owe him a lot for a lot of the memories that I have. So happy birthday, Roger. Hope you're doing well. Hope I get to see you soon.
My favorite Roger moments from the Plaza Heights days were the obvious step and a half, get up woo, and when he would offer to pay for the whole team to go and eat at Old Country Buffet when we would win a doubleheader. Happy birthday, Dad.
When I first got the message about making a video for your birthday, Roger, if I'm being honest, my initial thought was, that guy is still alive? I thought for sure by now he would have gotten into a big argument with an umpire, and next thing you know, a heart attack would hit. But glad to hear that you're doing well, staying healthy, and still kicking. And I was approached about doing my favorite Roger memory, and there's a lot of them. You know, I'm sure some of the other guys are doing the classics like get up woo and step and a half, and you outfielders need to go out there and look at that pool of blood. That could be you tomorrow. But I'm not going to do any of those. I'm going to do one that's a little bit more personal to me and remember it well. It was a Tuesday afternoon. The team was just finishing up practice, and we were over there by the field by that the elementary school, and we're walking back to Plaza Heights, and me and Colby are just throwing a baseball back and forth, messing around, not really paying attention to what we're doing. And I threw one to him, and it was way over his head. Had no chance of catching it. And who's behind him? Roger, just walking along, minding his own business, head down, cap on, sunflower seeds in hand. And next thing I know, hits him right across the chest. And instantly, I had all these thoughts in my mind. It was like just a monologue just of all these crazy thoughts. And first one was, well, I'm 15 years old. I had a good life. My run probably comes to an end today. And then my next thought was, nah, if he charges at you, you can outrun him. I was like, who am I kidding? I'm the slowest one out here. I can't outrun Roger. So I was like, maybe I can fight him. I was like, no, he's going to have that crazy old man strength. I can't fight him. And as all these thoughts are going through my brain, you just slowly look up and stare at me. and I'm just standing still, not knowing what to do. And you're just walking closer and closer to me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it was an accident, I didn't mean it. Here, just punch me, Roger, eye for an eye. I hit you, you hit me. And you walk closer, and you go, you really think that hurt me? That's like a flea bouncing off iron. And I was like, so you're not mad? You're not gonna yell at me? He's like, no, I'm not gonna yell at you. It's like, you're not gonna kill me? And he goes, well, you're just lucky you didn't knock the sunflower seeds out of my hand. And so that's one of my favorite Roger memories. It really speaks to the type of person you are and the type of man you are. You're slow to anger, full of grace, full of mercy. Unless you're an umpire, then you get the full wrath of the Rodge. Happy birthday, man.
So I have 4 things that I want to talk about real quick. Favorite memories that I have of specifically baseball memories with Dad. One of them is Golden Cadillac coming at ya. If you don't know, you never will. If you understand the reference, you're welcome. Pulling into Wichita when Michael and Dad had gone ahead of us, and we'd come pulling in on this big bus, and their dad is sitting out in the parking lot against this golden Cadillac, kind of like he's just king of the place. And it was always really funny to a lot of us on the team how proud Dad was of that Cadillac that Michael drove around. And that was just something really funny I like thinking about. One of my other favorite memories, or 2 of my other favorite memories rather, actually happened on the same night. One of them was, one guy was talking about a beetle that had been crawling around his equipment, and he put his cup on one night, and this beetle came crawling out. And he was talking about how scared he was, and Dad's sitting back there, and he says, well, must have been a cockroach. Just out of the blue, and everybody in the room cracked up. And then my other favorite thing from that night was when it was James. He was laughing about some joke, and he's trying to make fun of somebody. And Dad is cracking up with him, and nobody else is really laughing. And when Dad can finally say something, he finally articulates that the reason he was laughing is because James just sounded so retarded when he was making fun of this other person. And so James at first was really excited because he had, the Rodge just cracking up, and it turned out that the real reason he was laughing is because James looked so stupid. Just all in good fun, but just really good memories to look back on. We love you, Dad, and really hope that you enjoy this and that you can use it to remember some of the good times that we've had together with some good friends, and just to know that you're very appreciated. We appreciate having you in our life, and you've made a big impact on all of us. Happy 60th birthday.